And it kind of bothers me because I am one of those people who I like falling back on science. I like being able to say, you know, it is scientifically proven that, or we have found it. I love being able to say that. You know, I love being able to say to someone that, you know, yeah, we have found that, you know, for an example that, you know, it comes up a lot, right, is global warming or vaccines causing autism, stuff like that. Great, you know, great things that come up all the time. People talk about this all the time, is that, you know, this causes autism, like, but we can go, well, but we know it doesn't. Why not? Because we have scientific evidence that it doesn't. We tested it. We've looked into it. And these are the papers. Well, but there was a paper that said, you know, vaccines cause autism. Well, no, because that's not what that paper said. You know, in the first place, that paper didn't say that. And in the second place, it was not replicable. They found that wasn't true, and so... But that's what science is figuring that nonsense out. That's why this is a pet peeve of mine. That's why it gets my dander up, is because in legitimate conversation we can say that, but you know, people will just go "Buh, buh, 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 buh," and they use it as if it's a, you know, as if it's a catch-all, and that turns science from what science is, which is a... God, I am going to die so quick down here. But it turns science from being science of trying to establish, you know, establish truth and fact. It turns it into a religion, and that's what science never should be. Science should not be a religion. It should not be unquestioned. It should not be taken on faith. Science should never be taken on faith. The entire thing is, yes, we can challenge it. Yes, we can act on it. Yes, we can absolutely replicate it. If we can't replicate it, it's not real. It's not true. Let's go on. And take everything I just said as opinion. Please. This is literally just my opinion on the matter. You are absolutely allowed to have a different opinion on it. That being said, if you have a different opinion, I'm going to debate you on it, and I'm gonna ask that you come up with a backing for your opinion. So, the problem I have with saying that vaccines cause autism is a hypothesis, is that to the layman, to you know, the random kind of looky-loo that hears that, calling it a hypothesis at this point makes it sound as if it's still in some level of that there might be some truth to it, that it's still in some level of testing, and there isn't. Like, it's not, but it's not in a level of testing. We know that vaccines don't cause autism. We're aware of that. Counter testing has been done. Freaking autism groups, like groups that say vaccine cause autism, have done testing which have shown that they don't. Like, we've done the testing. So saying it's a hypothesis at this point is giving it more credit than it's due. At this point, it's not even a hypothesis. At this point, it is a like, what's the best we can call it? At this point, I think the best that we can possibly call it is a, crap. I don't have the word I'm looking for. It's a conspiracy theory. It's the best we have, because the evidence shows that it's not true. At least as far as I'm aware. Maybe something else. Maybe I missed something. It's possible that I missed a paper, or I missed, you know, I don't read the paper. I don't read the scientific papers as much as I do. I usually read, you know, kind of the headlines of it. I read a little bit deeply into it. I go, hey, that's interesting, and I move on. But there might be a paper that I missed that shows some, you know, that there is some doubt now. But claiming something in the face of the evidence is a conspiracy theory. And that's basically what it's become at this point. I am... I can't... Yeah, autism causes vaccines. I have heard that before, and I really love that. That was one of my favorite. So one of my favorite YouTubers. So Carl Sagan 42. I love the man, and I find he has become one of my favorite people to watch, both to fall asleep to, but also to watch in general. Because he is one of those people who's, you know, amazingly positive. He's great in his community, and what I really also love about him is I love that he is an actual scientist and he actually goes to bat for science. But you know, science in a, you know, in the way I see science, in that it is a fallible thing that we can nevertheless use, and we will continue to get better at. And that was one of his things, as he was talking about, you know, autism, and he brought up the autism causes vaccines joke, which is one of my favorite jokes at this point. Lizard power cell. Use a lizard altar. Okay. Gonna put that there, I guess. But yeah, I'm not gonna claim to be smart. I'm argumentative, and I like following debates through to their conclusion, because I was in debate club for a long time, and science is one of my, you know, kind of one of my favorite subjects, but I'm not well enough educated to really do it, and I argue way too much when I probably should stop, especially when there's people who are absolutely smarter than me, that know more than me, that go away. No. But yeah, I cannot lay claim to being smart, because I've proven beyond the shadow of a doubt time and time again that I very much am not. Got another Philosopher's Stone. What do I want to get rid of? Okay, so we're gonna pop up here. We're gonna open this up, and let's toss some stuff into it. Yeah, there's some stuff in there. Hey, I got a slime gun. Well, see, the problem is that, you know, again, saying there's a correlation gives so much credence to the families who, you know, say that vaccines cause autism. There's I'd have to go look up the paper again, but there is currently research going on that actually my cousin is somewhat involved in this, which is really awesome. She works at the University of North Carolina in one of their labs, and she works on proteins. And one of the things that she's actively doing right now is she was working on some proteins that reportedly it is a protein that causes autism. And they are currently actively researching how different chemicals interact with this protein, with the hope of maybe preventing it from activating. Because these proteins seem to be what is causing the mental growth in, you know, young adults that leads to autism. So it's kind of very interesting that is something that's now kind of ongoing, is that, you know, we have found that it may be a protein that causes autism, which if that can be proven, you know, number one, it means that we can maybe respond to it, we can maybe prevent it. But number two, if a protein causes autism, unless a vaccine causes the protein, then we can also go, yeah, you know, doesn't cause autism, because we know what autism is caused by. I can but hope that this becomes something that will happen in the future, is that we will be able to prove it and then also be able to respond. Flying snakes freaking everywhere. Well, yeah, so the problem is that if you've been educated in science or in English, you know, the meaning of words, things like that, are these guys just going to endlessly spawn? I feel like these guys are just going to endlessly spawn. Probably. So if you've been educated in that stuff, you know that correlation is just these seem to happen next to each other, but we have not actually linked the two. It's just they seem to happen. But the problem is that for the layman, in a lot of things, the layman believes that correlation is causation. That if these two things happen around each other, one is causing the other. And that's where that phrase is. Correlation does not equal causation. But, you know, it's absolutely a thing that people do not understand. So, you know, it very much is you know, at least in my opinion, it's when you're having these conversations with people, do not, you know, use your words, choose your words with care. Do not use these words, do not use these words in such a way that, trying to think of how to word this. Do not use these words in such a way that that mistake can be made. I mean, better education of the masses is always a thing that should happen. Like, we should always be seeking to better educate, you know, the body public. But it's just, until we've done that, until, you know, until the public is aware of these things and kind of knows that this is what this means, you know, choose your words with care. Because the second you say, yeah, there may be some correlation between, you know, between vaccines and autism, the immediate response you're going to get is vaccines cause autism. They said there was a correlation. But it's the same issue with the term theory, is that people don't understand what the word theory means. And so they hear, you know, theory of evolution or theory of relativity, theory of gravity, and they go, oh, their theory's not, you know, not a law. Therefore, they're not proven. Therefore, you know, something, something, something. I forget the definition of a law in this case, but, like, I think it's partly is we have not proven beyond the shadow of a doubt that evolution is real. Like, there's still missing links. We're still missing some proof, I believe, is the issue. So you know, a law is something that has been, I forget the definition of it, but it's like, it's been proven beyond the shadow of a doubt. There is no doubt that this is a thing. And I think that's one of the reasons why, like, gravity is still considered to be, you know, a theory, is because we don't know how it works necessarily. It doesn't, you know, doesn't necessarily follow, you know, we don't know exactly what the deal is, you know, so therefore, it's still in theory world. Oh, okay. I didn't know that was gonna happen. Okay. I was unaware, actually, that, you could place this here? I wonder if I... So if I do this, it breaks that. Okay. This is what we're going to do. I don't need the nurse to be over there right now. Oh, this house is missing a chair. Okay. Let's go see about making a chair for that house. It has admittedly been a long time since I was in science in school, so I may be missing some information. You know what? I have ice blocks. Actually, first of all, there is stuff I don't need. That's interesting. So it was using, the bow was using these arrows, even though they weren't equipped. I didn't know it could do that. Let's go see if we've got some, we've got some shrooms that we can maybe use. And I don't mind, like, I don't mind having political discussions on the channel. I think as long as, in general, as long as people are respectful about how they couch their, you know, couch their argument, and if they're willing to listen to people, you know, go for it. And yes, I say respectful after I completely blasted someone apparently out of the chat room. But, I mean, you're not wrong. But again, you just have to be respectful about it. Use the activator and a lever to collect the mushroom. Oh, you mean use actuator blocks on, yeah. I mean, the mushrooms are not going to be needed that much in the future, so I'm not really worried about it at the moment. Why is this thing not dead yet? Okay. I think they said they were going to be buffing Golem as part of the, as part of the update. Okay, we got a Golem mask. Spiked shiny stone. Greatly increases life to... Okay. when not moving. Interesting. Beetle Husk, Heat Ray. Shoots a piercing thing of heat. Unfortunately, he did not drop one of the things I actually wanted, which was the Sunstone, I believe. Heat Ray has really good DPS. He provides access to a pickaxe of sorts. Well, the Shroomite Claws, which is the thing that I want to build, are the best digging everything. So that's one of the things that we're aiming at right now is just the Shroomite Claws, because that is the best digging implement. I'm gonna fight him again because I didn't get anything off of him that was particularly notable. So I want to see if we can maybe get something off of him. The Beetle Husk is for armor, I believe. Yeah, so upgrade. We're not going to be using it right now because I don't need that type of armor. Greatly increases life regen when not moving. I guess I'll hold on to that. It's not something I really want right now, but... I can maybe use it in the future. What did I come back down here for? Oh, right, to put ice away. Okay, nurse is here. Well, that wasn't too bad. Let's go ahead and do it again. Okay, now Old One's army hits the final step, too, because we did defeat Golem. So Old One's army is now at its highest level. I don't think I can actually beat Betsy, unfortunately. Yeah, what's really fun is that, like, Betsy is a total wuss when it comes to the actual Dungeon Defenders. I mean, maybe not on, like, Nightmare, but on, like, normal or hard modes, Betsy is not hard in that game. That is something I would love to actually do on the channel at some point, is do a Dungeon Defenders, like, playthrough. There's the Sunstone. Another shiny stone. And no weapon. Shame. But that does give me access to a thing. So we have Sunstone. I have Neptune Shell. I think the moon thing, if I remember correctly, is currently my money trough. There's the moon charm. What am I missing? Sunstone. I'm missing the moonstone. How do I get the moonstone again? Vampires during solar eclipse. Okay. So I don't have access to that yet, unfortunately. get rid of that shiny stone, though. I forget. What is the... Is there a thing I'm really looking for here? So he's actually... Staff of Earth. Shoots boulders. That's not it. Maybe there really isn't anything I want off of him. Yeah, I was looking at the eye, maybe, but there's really nothing, like, what I really want right now is, Traveling Merchant. Hold up. Please have the item I'm looking for. God, I hate you. He does have the pulse bow, however. And the angel halo. Okay. Skylake. Okay, so now you have everything. So I need 100 defender medals to get those. What really bothers me about these is these are really only... maybe worth going after. Want to laugh at you? Sure. Okay, let's go to my Skylake. Okay, what I'm curious about, so let's take a look at the pulse bow. Shoots a charged arrow. There it is. Yeah, going to the right continent is kind of important. God, another set of... God, I hate this little pain in the ass. It's the second set of fin wings he's given me. Okay, so... what am I going to put away? So let's put away the Murderous Wasp gun. Need to sell that. Put away the Angel Halo.